Hi, Mike the MC. Welcome back to my channel, bringing you another self-care video. Today's video will be covering the idea of followers and leadership from number 12 of the Catechism. This is a great topic to reflect on, especially as coming back to your choice as a follower. Do you follow that leader? Do you follow that teacher into the battle? This will be a great topic to discuss, so let's get into this. Alright, so here's number 12 of the Catechism. Number 12 of the Catechism states the following. This work is intended primarily for those responsible for catechesis. First of all, the bishops, as teachers of the faith and pastors of the church. It is offered to them as an instrument in fulfilling their responsibility of teaching the people of God. Through the bishops, it is addressed to redactors of catechisms, to priests, and to catechists. It will also be useful reading for all other Christian faithful. There are many good points from number 12 of the Catechism here, and I think the very first thing to reflect on is, in that paragraph, they mark all the leadership. The bishops, the priests, the laity, and the world, subliminally on the macro level, just looking at it from that perspective of, okay, from the bottom-up perspective, okay, this is a reading for the faithful, but then the faithful, okay, you got to follow the role of your leaders, your bishops, the priests that are locally there for you too, then all the way to the Pope. And then looking at it from the reverse, the downside, okay, Pope, what are your bishops telling you? All right, bishops, what are your priests telling you? And then priests, what are the laity telling you? And then laity, what's your family say about the leadership? And these are just great questions to reflect on, because it comes back, puts the power back into the follower. What do you want to follow and believe? What are you inclined to do? We look at terrible places, just bringing this into the conversation, the idea that, okay, if you are in a country with a lot of dictatorship, very little choice as a follower, it's not very healthy, helpful for the followers of being in that place, because, I mean, when you're forced to follow a leader out of fear, power, anger, everything is just not aligned to progressing, to building something greater. And then when that happens, the people who overcome the fear, that's where the dictatorship will switch power. And the dynamic just switches like that from underneath, pulling underneath the rug. You fall and it's like, uh-oh. So you lost your power on that pedestal. Now the next leader is in charge, on the top of the totem pole. Okay, so the idea there is, okay, power will switch out of fear. This paragraph is stressing from this perspective that, okay, it's obedience, loyalty. Okay, obedience does not have to become fear unless now you, as a follower, you look at the actions of your leaders. Okay, I've had conversations with people on this before. In fact, one priest even shared with me and my other classmates once from the seminary, if you notice that your priest is doing something wrong, throw that yellow flag. Throw that penalty out there, just saying, hey, that doesn't agree with this and so, not just of the Bible, but of the other rule books, the Catechism, like this, the canon law, and all these other documents in the church. If you are able to read, have the time as a follower, and then you could just throw that yellow flag, okay, look at it from this perspective, a little step back. All right, you're in the church. Are you going to stand up in front of the parish and say, hey, Father, I don't think that's correct? That is a great deal of courage. That is an incredible challenge to bring into that parish, because you're saying, Father, I don't think this is correct. I don't agree with what you're saying. This is not going to, how is this helping our families, our children? You put yourself on the line. And when you put yourself on the line, you're the next person that's going to be taken out if what you say does not align with the higher power. So, right, it doesn't have to be all negative from this paragraph. You can have a wonderful leader, a great leader, but then how do you as a follower discern what is great leadership? Is it more money in your parish? More money in your organization? Is that leader giving you higher promotions at your work? Taking it now to the other parts of life. As a leader, are you helping your team? Are you there giving them respect? Are you helping your team, giving them like, all right, let's take a break from the work. Let's congratulate what we've done. Or are we just going to grind and just complete all of our work so that way we're meeting the quota every week, getting our money in, meeting the demands of the people? Are we making time for our agency, our people? So for me, to the leadership, that's my question. Are we making time for our leadership? Are we making time for our people that need us in the office? I think, coming from a social work background, the servant leader, and I may go into another video on that topic as well, but the servant leader, even from a religious standpoint, someone that takes charge, leading by example, getting into the task themselves, knowing what it's like to do the different chores, the different actions of the job that are required of the employees. And when the boss knows what it takes to fulfill those, you're hoping that, okay, that person has seen from the start to the finish. She knows what it takes to make a successful product for people, to have a successful meal that is made from the start to the finish, passed on to that customer in the restaurant. That's the idea of the servant leader. How many leaders are we willing ourselves to go out, talk with the people, engage with the products, know what it takes to build something successful? Some of us may inherit our leadership and say, oh, now I'm just going to use it and just poof, poof, with the stick, and you follow my way, or it's the highway. If you don't agree, then get out. There's that idea. And I understand from this perspective that, okay, you want to be a strong leader. Does dominance equate to fear? You look at successful football coaches. I always reference football because I'm a follower. I love football. Was it out of fear, or were they motivated? They knew something was up. They knew how to succeed. The great coaches of the past. Inspiring their players to play at their best. The coaches to help the players. The other personnel to be there to get the practices going. It's not just the team. It's the whole agency, the whole organization. And as a servant leader, are you helping all the people at that organization as best as you can live into your full potential? As a follower now from this perspective, are you doing what you can to help your leader, your family? Helping your husband, your wife, your mother, father, your brothers and sisters. Where do you stand in that hierarchy? Some will call that the pecking order even, but that's okay. Where do you stand, and how do you fulfill your role, your position in that family? You may be number one on the bottom of that pecking order, but if you're on the top even, okay, knowing where you stand, the bottom of the top, are you fulfilling your duties? And are you working your way to become a better person each day? Whether we like it or not also, people see me on this channel and they can say, oh, what you're saying, it's terrible. I mean, Mike, come on. I don't know if I would follow you all the way to the end. I mean, are you just pulling words out of your head? Are you in over it? Are you just speaking from the top? Are you just rambling? I would argue with you that, okay, maybe I do like to have a conversation on YouTube every now and then, but I'm trying to promote help for people through this channel. The self-care, okay. I'm trying to help you with various topics. Whether you agree with me or not, that's your choice. As a leader, I just hope that you become awesome in your position. That's all I'm asking. If I'm teaching through the channel here, okay, in real life, how would I teach? I teach with care, respect, okay. If I can provide examples of how to do things, how to pass a math exam, how to build a house, all right. I can teach those things, but then it comes back to that leadership question again. Am I willing to be a good leader by giving you the tools. What is my point in teaching you? You want to have a good leader. You want to follow someone that wants to inspire you to be good. Coming back again to the follower. Do you trust your leader? Do you trust he or she will lead you to the end, the finish line? And if your leader tells you, okay, I've taught everything I could, I've given you all the tools, everything, I want you now to go and find the next person to learn from. You've learned all you can from me. I want you to be the best. See, that's, as a teacher, as a parent to a child, you want the best for your child. You want them to be great. And when you have taught them all you've known, all right, speaking to all the family, the kids here at this point, when you have learned everything you can from your parents, now it's up to you to extend that knowledge, go beyond what your parents knew, so that way you can learn more and extend that to your family and kids as well. That is the beauty of a never-ending education. That is the beauty of leadership extending to the followers. You want your family to grow. And when you know that as a young child, knowing that, okay, my parents, they did the best for me. My caretaker, okay. If they weren't the best, I just want you to know, I care and I love you, okay? But for those who did have a good caretaker and a good parent, okay, how can I take my knowledge, my skills to the next level and help my kids improve in their lives? Those are my reflection questions for you all from number 12 of the Catechism. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.